Welcome to Bridging the Bayou, where we will explore what it means to work, live, and play in the Bayou region. Join us as we take a deeper dive into the people and experiences that make our region such a special place to live and work. On each podcast, we will talk to individuals who are making our region grow and go, who are making strides in uplifting our community. This year, Fletcher Technical Community College is celebrating its 75th anniversary, 75 years of changing lives. This is a podcast of Fletcher Technical Community College. Welcome back to Bridging the Bayou, the podcast of Fletcher Technical Community College. I am your host, Chancellor Kristine Strickland. And look, we are celebrating our 75th anniversary this year, 75 years of changing lives in the Bayou region. And we have a very special guest with us today. Mr. Mike Duplantis, the factory manager at John Deere Thibodaux, is with us today. And look, one of the things that we want to do this year, over the course of this year, is showcase the amazing business and industry partners who work with us every single day here at Fletcher to help make dreams a reality and change these lives that we've been talking about, helping us provide opportunities for students to, I know we're going to talk a little bit about internships and apprenticeships, but also amazing career pathways once they graduate from this institution. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
I'm stoked to be here.
Awesome. Yep. Well, we are going to start with our usual 5 questions in 5 minutes, the 5 in 5 to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Yes.
Time check.
And time check. And are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to start with an easy one. Favorite book? Could read it over and over and over again.
Lord.
That's not an easy one, huh?
No. I just bought one over the holidays. Eat Your Ice Cream.
Oh, okay.
I just started reading it, but I couldn't even tell you much what it's about. It's kind of...
Is it a management book? Eat
No,
Your
no,
Ice Cream?
it's
or is it literally about ice cream?
No, it's not. No, it's more about wellness. Like, hey,
really?
When I retire one day, good Lord willing, focus on myself and the things that, mind, body, spirit, that kind of thing. So, again, anybody who's read it,
Don't spoil it. No.
Well, no, I'm right. I'm like 8 pages in. So, but yeah, so that's not my favorite, but that's my current one and the only one I can think of.
Okay, no worries. Well, look, I'm interested because I'm an ice cream girl. One of my Christmas presents from somebody on the team was a gift card to Baskin-Robbins.
Love it.
Chocolate chip ice cream there. It's like the best. So if there's a book out there that says it's okay for me to eat my ice cream every day, you let me know.
Well, I'll let you know how the book goes.
Excellent. All right, so what is a hobby or interest that you have that might surprise people who don't know you outside of work?
I'm trying to think of the type of flower. It's a plant. It's kind of an office plant. It produces a beautiful flower, and they drop. My mom has like 15, 18 of them on her back porch. She got me into them, and several at home, several at work. And normally when they drop their flowers, after 6, 8 months, people throw them away. And over the last 5, 6 years, I've enjoyed pruning them and trying to figure out how to get them to grow.
Wait, are they the ones that are in the bulbs, the wax bulb ones?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's different than that.
I was going to say.
And look, in about 10 minutes, I remember the flower. I've
Okay.
got a mind blank right now.
No worries.
But yeah, no, and I guess people come to my office, see them, and it's like, oh, we always throw those away. But it's just something, again, I've had the one in my office for like 6 years and the 3 at my house for many years. And they're all fixing, 2 of them are blooming and the other 2 are fixing to. So it's just a little, something that gets my mind off of stuff when I see it's needing some attention. I go pay it attention.
That's really awesome. And look, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised. In my head, you're not a flower guy.
Yeah, and I'm a plant garden, flower bed guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Just do stuff outside.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, my mother gave me, I don't know what they're called either, but it's the flower that comes in the wax bulb.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one I'm talking about? And I think she ordered it like off of QVC or Home Shopping Club. But anyway, I thought after it bloomed that it would die. And she said, well, why don't you just try to replant it? And no lie, that is probably the most beautiful plant I have in my backyard. It's huge. I keep moving it to a bigger and bigger planter. And now it gets 3 and 4 blooms. It's absolutely gorgeous. So
it's killing me not to think of it.
I know. So we'll come up with
minute.
it. When we come up with it, everybody, we're going to put it in the show notes.
We'll pause.
We'll put pause and we'll put it in the show notes. Okay. Best advice you've ever received and who gave it to you?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, my father, when I first started working, he asked me, our company had a 401k with a small match at the time, and hey, what are you, are you investing? At the time, I wasn't. I was
Right.
22, 3, wasn't making anything, but went in the next week and kind of went all in. It just, built up over time. So yeah, he said, "Boy, you'll never miss it," and he was 100% right. He told me a few other things, but it was just some life coaching that here I am, a bit older and grateful.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
And look, some of those lessons, we don't listen sometimes when we're younger. And then we go later on, boy, I wish I would have listened to my mom and dad, right? And look, I have kids at home, and I try to give advice sometimes, and I know they're not listening, but then I'm like, I can't even get mad about it because I didn't either.
But you put in the effort. So
You did. You did put in the effort. So, all right, a completely free Saturday. No responsibilities. How are you spending the day?
If my wife's sleeping in, which she does normally,
Okay.
I may go to the gym and kind of have some me time, and then come home. I'm an outdoors type person, so if the weather's decent, it's tending to the yard, working on some kind of project. And she and I, it's probably been a couple years ago, we're not super consistent, but we try to be. At a certain point in time after lunch, hey, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, let's end the projects and spend some time together. So
Nice.
I like staying active, but then the family time is super important. And we have 2 daughters. My older one's married and expecting our first grandchild in a few months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then the other one just got engaged. So anytime they are wanting to come home, they still like us and love us. So that's the world.
That's great.
That's the world. So yeah, project, busy stuff, and then shut it down, family time.
All right. Are you a workout guy? You like to work out?
I do.
Really?
I do a little bit. Yeah. 3-4 days a week. I try to.
Is it mental health or just physical health or both? Like it clears your mind? It's all of the above?
It's 100% both. Probably more mental than physical, but it's both 100%.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of workout equipment? What are you doing when you go to the gym?
I do a little elliptical to warm up, and then weights, and a couple days a week do classes.
All right.
So, and then almost always wrap up with hitting the hot boxes, steam sauna, and they just got a cold plunge in about 6 months ago, so I do that pretty consistently.
Okay. All right. We were talking before the show just started about whether or not you took dance classes, so I'm assuming the classes you're referring to are not dance.
No, my wife teaches Zumba.
Does she really?
She teaches Zumba.
Oh, I love Zumba.
Yeah, she's a beast. I haven't been to a class, but I see her practice. So yeah,
You might have to.
I dance via my wife's actions.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. We're going to come back to the dance thing a little later.
All right.
Okay. We're going to do a quick lightning round. One right answer. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Okay. Early mornings or late nights?
I thought you would say early times, early mornings.
Phone calls or texts?
Phone calls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for playing along on the round of 5 and 5. Good to get to know you better. But we're going to turn our attention to maybe what you do in the other part of your life and your professional career. And obviously, John Deere is a pretty iconic brand. A lot of folks know. What does it mean for you? Here you are representing Thibodaux, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this global company and a leader in the global company. And what does that mean to you in terms of professionally and personally to be able to lead on this global scale and in particular to represent South Louisiana as you do?
Well, it's a job I built up to. I never looked at it and said, man, I want to do that one day. It just, in fact, over my career, 33 years now, I only asked once for, hey, it's time to change jobs. So fortunate, blessed in that people saw something in me I didn't see in myself, but very, very proud to, when people say, hey, what do you like most about what you do? And it's, having a place for our employees and their families to, just come to enjoy and support, themselves, doing things in the community, being a good steward in the community, and making a difference in other people's lives as well. So, and then, very proud to work for a global company that's got, really good values, and mine are consistent with Deere. So, yeah, it's been a great journey. The company I work for that was acquired by Deere, very similar. So I've been able to grow up kind of in the private sector for 5 years, and then the last, it's going on almost 28 or so in the Deere world, which has been cool. But in general, just I try to represent myself and being authentic in the community, but also the responsibility of, we have a lot of employees, and making sure that, they're proud of me, my family's proud of me, and then making sure, look, because I'm only one little player in this game, we've got a lot of our employees who get behind different organizations and that, just do wonderful things that have been built over time, people before me and myself included. So just proud of the team and representing what we do.
That's awesome. And, one of the things that I've heard from a number of leaders that we've talked to, both on the podcast and just in general, is that many of them said, like, this wasn't something that I was aspiring. I didn't chase this dream my whole life. My career evolved, and I evolved and found myself in this leadership position. And I think for a lot of leaders, that's sort of the journey, right? That's sort of the pathway, is just being open. And I'm wondering, for those who are listening and are thinking, like, I would love to lead an organization at some level. Any advice with that respect?
It might be the advice. We had employee orientation this morning. We've been hiring, so once a week. And I sit down, whether it's a couple folks or several. I try to meet everybody who's joining the team, and whether it's a salary position or a production position. And, hey, can you show up to work on time? Can you be consistent, reliable? Pretty basic.
Yeah.
Some people make it tough. But anyway, that's one. Can you be a good teammate? Are you a good person? What's your culture of respect? Are you capable of learning?
That's a great one.
And then the last one, the fourth one, is always work ethic.
Yeah.
So if you do those four things, and you really focus on it, and you own your development, and those four things, it's going to happen for you. Stars need to align and all that stuff. But I'm convinced that the special ones, and I'm not special, but the special ones do those four things consistently, and people want you on their team. And then all of a sudden, people need you to lead a team, and it just kind of builds.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is great advice. I remember early on in my career, was working at a place, and they had hired a bunch of different individuals kind of from all over the country, and we all sort of wound up in New Orleans together. And one of the things I remember our supervisor saying to us at one point was this whole thing about there were certain people who came on and were open to learning, and were open to being involved in an organization where it was a new culture, and it was and being curious about that and open to learning about it. And then there was a group of people who were like, well, this is the way we did it at my old place. And they were not open at all. And you could see the trajectory, ultimately, career pathways-wise and leadership-wise, of their development based on that one real cornerstone thing of how open are you to learning new things, to trying new things, to doing things new, and to learning about the place where you're working, right? And not coming in with sort of preconceived notions.
Nope.
So let me talk about John Deere a little bit in terms of, like, for those watching who go, well, I know John Deere is a green tractor, right?
Yes.
What do you do at the Thibodaux location? Like, what are we manufacturing? What kind of equipment? What's the operation over there for those who aren't really maybe familiar?
Yeah, good question, because 98 times out of 100, the misconception is I work for a dealership, or any one of our employees is, oh, yeah, I work for the local dealer. And so, no, we're not an independent company. We are a John Deere business. And so we manufacture several product lines. The flagship product for a long, long time has been sugarcane harvesters. So the harvesters you see, the green and yellow ones in the field, cutting the canes during harvest season, which are just wrapped up, that comes out of Thibodaux. So a very complex piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So the engineering, design engineering, manufacturing engineering, supply chain is all done through Thibodaux. And then, so working it through the factory, we pretty vertically integrated when it comes to manufacturing. So sheets of steel come in one side of the plant, you cut it, you bend it, you weld it. Some things go to machining, you get machined, you paint it, you assemble it, and then you warehouse it. So that's our process. So we have a lot of different assets that do all those things. But cane harvesters, cane loaders, we have an earth moving scraper, line, cotton headers, air boom. And then we just, actually last week, was able to announce we were rewarded 2 new product lines that will be bringing in one in the fall of this year and one of the summer of next year, which really is going to change the landscape for us, be more of an impact player within Deere.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Does that mean that there'll be some expansion? Is that going to require more physical space?
It actually
or people? Or?
It actually won't, which is excellent because...
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, no, the ag and construction market globally right now is in a bit of a recession. So we have manufacturing footprint kind of available. And if we were needing a lot of capital to build a building, that's not going to happen. So we were able to take advantage of some floor space we had. We moved some things around. And we're going to be able to bring it in. Most of our big assets like lasers, press brakes, machining centers, paint systems, we won't need to add anything. It'll be just more better asset utilization throughout the whole year because both of these new product lines, they're not they're seasonal, but we're going to be able to build them 10, 11 months out the year.
Oh, okay.
So really allowing us to increase our asset utilization, which then turns our employees, which is cool. Instead of having a cycle where you're 80, you're 100, 120% of volumes, will be, throughout the year, will be more flatlined. So we won't have as much variation in personnel, which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Well, wonderful news. That's great news coming out.
It make Mike Duplantis happy. And look, I say that, kudos to a lot of people back at the factory who worked hard to do things the right way to earn the right to bring this business in, because it didn't happen because of me. It happened because all of our employees got behind the plan and delivered on our operational metrics and did that consistently. And you do that long enough, people who come down here from the Midwest, I think normally 2 things that they take away: the people are really good, and the food's damn good.
Yeah.
So
that's why I stayed. I came down from the Midwest and was like, yes, love the people, I love the food, love the culture, all things. Yeah. So you talked a little bit about automation. How do you see automation changing the industry?
For us, it's a must. So, just take welding as an example. We compete globally. And if I weld something manually, in Thibodaux, or manually in a lower cost country as an example, that lower cost, it matters. So what we've shifted, and just using welding as an example, to more robotic welding operations. We're only 20-25% of our operation at best is robotic welding today, but that's something we'll be in time moving more and more to, in order to be more, stay cost competitive. So that's an example. We have the biggest area from a automation perspective that's improved our business is on the quality front. So mistake-proof tooling, whether it's weld tooling.
I was going to say, what is that? What does that mean?
So tooling is if you you're building that bike for Christmas, right? And you lose the instructions, and so you just kind of got to figure it out. And you don't have anything to fit it up to. It's just you kind of.
I'd return the bike.
I would too.
I couldn't figure it out.
But this is basically, and we have instructions. We have a lot of instructions. But it's basically, when I say tooling, it's having something that's been engineered to accept only a certain part, only a certain way. Oh. So you kind of piece it together.
So you can't make a mistake.
Right.
Or it would be really, really hard.
Right, correct. And if you do, we try to mistake-proof that.
Gotcha.
And we have a continuous improvement process that when you do have those opportunities for improvement, you put them as a project, you work on them, and try to design out all of the complications or challenges that would result in a quality defect either within the factory or, heaven forbid, you ship it out to a customer. So that in weld in all of our operations, assembly has been a huge. We have a lot of hydraulic connections on our machines, so having it's something called John Deere Assembly Assist Tool. It's a system that you take a smart wrench, if you will, that got Bluetooth, and you'll torque something down, and it'll recognize it's either green or red. When it clicks green, you know you've torqued it adequately, and it records that. And if it didn't, it won't allow you to go to the next operation. So that's probably been our biggest win from a customer dissatisfied perspective over the last 5-6 years.
That is really cool. I bet you most people watching had no idea that level of technology was so deeply embedded in the tools that you all are using, plus just in the process in general.
Oh, yes. And we learn something every day, which is cool. We have our capital and expense budgets that we have to manage, but we try to pick the best projects to get the best results, and it's never ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the ag industry in Louisiana is probably, if not the top industry in the state, it certainly is right up there with maritime and energy production. From your unique position, how do you see the ag industry changing in Louisiana? Getting stronger. I know I went past the Raceland sugar mill yesterday, and I think they said they had a sign out front that said they had hit record yield or record poundage or something like that. But it was like, we broke records, and I was like, oh, wow. And I mean, I find that fascinating because you do see new developments coming up, especially like in the Thibodaux area, and you hear a lot about smaller acreage, especially in the sugarcane, but yet it seems like production is still really high. So I'm just interested kind of in, when you look at the landscape of ag in the state of Louisiana, like, what do you see happening?
Definitely consolidation has happened over the years. When I first started, and I was out in the field working with the customers a lot, there are many, many hundreds of customers that we dealt with. And that, I don't know what the number is today, but I'm going to just spitball and say it's half or less. So the farms have gotten much bigger, so economies of scale. All the inputs have gone up. Commodity prices, I think the industry's been enjoying some decent, if not really good, the last couple of years pricing when it comes to sugar as a commodity. But that industry, along with many others, are challenged with efficiency and how to maximize on a sugarcane farm. It's sugar per acre. I produce this much sugar cane in weight, and then there's so much sucrose in that weight.
Right.
So it's pounds of sugar per acre is kind of what they gear things towards. So, so consolidation, economies of scale is one thing. You're right. You look around this region, and a lot of homes, a lot of businesses popping up, taking out cane fields. However, and I don't know the exact numbers. Right. But I'm fairly certain the industry has grown. Where it's grown is kind of towards the northern part of the cane belt and the northeastern part of the cane belt. When I said commodity prices a few minutes ago, sugar's been pretty strong and hanging in there. But when you look at the other crops that are produced on that northern rim of the cane belt, soybeans, cotton, rice, those commodity prices have been depressed for a couple of years, and it's looking like they'll remain maybe a little depressed this year. So people shifted from soybeans, cotton to sugarcane production. So with that, the industry has grown, which is a little dangerous because you get to that part of the state and, like this weekend, you got some freezes, and you can have that during the harvest season. So anyway, it's been a resilient industry. I don't know, several hundred years old, a couple hundred at least. And I've been lucky that kind of grew up in it as a kid. And was exposed to it, through high school, college, and then was fortunate enough to. My ambition was to come back and farm cane, and that wasn't in the cards. But I think the best thing happened where I ended up at. It was Chemical Industries, was the company that Deere acquired. Started there as kind of a product specialist with cane harvesters. So anyway, it's been a good little path, and I'm still connected in lots of ways to the cane industry, which my brother, my next door neighbor, he's the manager at Raceland
Oh, okay.
Raw Sugars. And so, yeah, they
Well, tell him I said congratulations.
I don't know, 5 million pounds of sugar the last few days of the season. They were hitting 5 million pounds a day. So, yeah,
That's
proud of
a crazy amount.
that is, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yep.
Well, let's take a minute and pivot just a little bit to talk about some of your work with Fletcher. I know many of the guests we've had on have talked about the need for workforce and finding good quality people who are trained up. And so you came to the table some number of years ago with an apprenticeship model. And I was just wondering if you could share with our listening group a little bit about not only what is that apprenticeship, how does it work, but why was it important to you to see that happen?
Yeah, so our workforce, fortunately, we're a really good place to work, and every year our workforce is getting older, and just we had a good run the last 6 months where people got to the point where they made good decisions and were able to retire. So we were always pretty much always taking labor. We would post, and the labor's coming from somewhere in the region that's working at a, whether it's a shipyard, an oil field, what have you, a repair shop. I saw the opportunity to, partner with Fletcher to, work with Fletcher on the welding processes that we have.
Okay.
Because the one thing that we were missing coming out of Fletcher was we weren't teaching how the type of welding that we have at our facility. So they would come out and they didn't have any relevant experience with what we did, so they couldn't pass our test, if you will. We don't require certification necessarily, but you have to be experienced in short arc, spray arc, flux core welding. And so working with your team, we were able to have our training folks get with your staff and kind of start having them incorporate some of the welding processes that we used. And then with that, so they would go to class traditionally in the morning and then come work with us, part-time. And short of it is, it's kind of like what I talked about earlier on, can you show up on time? Are you a good teammate? Can you learn?
Yeah.
Those boxes are checked when they come in from y'all, because if they don't go to school, right?
Right.
They're not in school.
Hard.
Yeah, it's a little tough. So we were them coming out, getting trained part-time, they quickly get that relevant work experience quickly. And, the cool thing working with the team is that, if they're ready and we're hiring, it's going to happen. We're going to make that transition from student to full-time employee. So I definitely think it's a big part beyond welding, a big part of our employee base in the future. In fact, I'd said a couple of years ago, I said, and my goal would be like in the next 8 years to have 50% of our production workforce coming from either Fletcher or high school apprenticeship program. Because those folks, we need production workers, but that's our future production leaders, team leads and supervisors and managers and me's,
Yeah.
Because anyway, so it's been good to have built that and continue to build it over the last several years.
Yeah. And you mentioned the high school apprenticeship. Tell us about that.
Well, that's something we 3-4 years ago we had started with. We partnered with Fletcher. I mean, y'all hosted the first meeting and got together with the two, Terrebonne LaFouche school boards and their technical programs. The one in LaFouche Parish is down in Lockport. Had different people from the different chambers and all. We met just to expose everyone to a federal registered high school apprenticeship program that we hadn't had in this region. And the short of it is everybody, and we had business partners, right? My friends and peers in the region that challenged with the same thing. Hey, we want good talent. We want to develop them. And so people got behind it very quickly, and it became an approved program that the school boards and the systems have owned from the beginning, and it's been really good for us. We're currently, for various reasons, currently paused on it at Deere overall, but I'm committed to getting back into it this next cycle and really doubling down, because I do see the partnership with them and with y'all as vital to our success in the future.
And kudos to you all for having that vision, because it was the first apprenticeship program that we had in this region, which is really, in many ways, pretty shocking. But I think you guys laid the foundation for so many other either business or industry partners or just career pathways to say, wait a minute, what is this apprenticeship model? How can we get involved? How can we do more of that? And so I think you've really started something that will likely take off and grow and expand even to other areas and other technical or trades here at Fletcher. So kudos to you guys on that. I want to ask you a little bit about your role with the Fletcher Foundation. So you've been just a tremendous asset to us, and you're vice chair now. Why did you get involved with the foundation? And maybe how did you get involved?
I was on Bayou Industrial Group's board and was the president, was coming off of it, and really enjoyed engaging and trying to make a difference in, the community. And I loved our, in that group, the fact that we were generating funds to send people, young folks from high school to Fletcher and to Nichols, so the scholarships. Knew a bit about Fletcher, but just wanted to continue to say give back, but get involved, give back, and then I guess from a business perspective, saw it as an opportunity to learn more about what Fletcher's all about, because I honestly didn't engage much, so I didn't know much. So it forced me to get out and learn, and adding value just as a person, adding value, to our business, and I've come to find out adding value to the students has been mega rewarding. So. I actually don't remember how I got there, who called me or
who roped you in.
I do too.
I think it might have been me at some point.
For sure, for sure.
So somebody who's listening out there, because you've talked about this throughout the podcast today, is about sort of this importance of being a good community member, right? Being active in your community and giving back. To the people who are out there listening and thinking to themselves, like, I think I'd like to get involved in my community, or I'd like to give back. Any advice on how to go about doing that? Like, where do you start? Any suggestions for those folks?
No, great question. I mean, what's your passion? If it's feeding people, clothing people, it could be if I'm feeding people, I can work at a food bank, or I can go work at a local garden, nonprofit garden. I can help them, market their foods, whatever. Where's your passion? For me, my passion has been making an impact for our future, our future, which is our young people. So whether it's they're going to a job at the factory I work at, or if it's, going as some kind of med tech that's gonna, I'm gonna be old, hopefully, knock on wood, and gray one day, and that's who's gonna take care of me in 20, 30 years. So that's where my passion is. So I'd say find your passion. Could be through a church. There's just so many things out there. People who don't, aren't as lucky as some of us. There's many different organizations out there to get behind. So do your little leg work. Talk about it to people who that are involved. Would be where I would go.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. And there are so many opportunities out there. And I love the idea of kind of following your passion. I had a very good friend, and she was an animal lover. And she went to the animal shelter, and she would play with the dogs and the cats and walk them and just help out. And that was very meaningful for her. It made her feel like she was able to give back, but it was a tremendous help to sometimes areas, especially when we talk about volunteerism, where they are short-staffed. And I think a lot of people get nervous about asking, but I think just approaching, right? Pick up the phone, send a text message, send an email saying, hey, could you use some help?
Yep.
I bet you 99% of the time the person's going to respond back, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I wish you would have started yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and I just want to say to you, thank you so much for being not only a tremendous partner in our work with John Deere and with the college, but also on the foundation. You know, we've had some tremendous success in raising dollars to help support students pursue their dreams. And so your leadership on that foundation board has really been instrumental. So I want to just say thank you to you for all of that as well.
Well, you're welcome.
All right. Well, look, as we begin to wrap up here, I'm just curious. I'm going to ask you another personal question before we wind down. And so I know you played football.
Yes.
Correct?
Long time ago.
Is that your favorite sport?
Favorite to watch, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't watch a bunch of it, but I do enjoy because I know the most about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you play any other sports coming up?
Oh, yeah. I played baseball, basketball. In fact, baseball, last year I started every game. I was 12, started every game.
Okay.
And my last at-bat of the season was like the rec league tournament.
Uh-huh.
My last at-bat, I got my first hit of the season.
Really?
So baseball wasn't my thing. and I played basketball.
You didn't excel at everything.
No.
Right?
Then I played basketball, and I'd foul out in the first, second quarter. So I found football, and it just...
You could run through people, and you didn't have to worry about fouling out.
It was just different. Yeah, I liked it, enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Excellent. Do you play sports, any type of organized sports today?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so then, and this may be controversial or just very bland and vanilla. Favorite football team?
I would say there's any high school. I've watched probably more high school sports over the last few years. So any good high school, especially like playoff games and local teams where you have the rivalries, I enjoy that. LSU, still, my wife's a grad. My two girls are grads. I'm a grad. So we go to, we have tickets and all, so we go to most of those games. So then I have a buddy with a couple sons there that play. So
Nice.
LSU, and then other than that, watch the Saints. Yeah, support the local thing.
All right.
And then, and
Anybody?
Nichols.
Nichols,
Yeah,
of course.
yes,
Of course. I was just
absolutely.
going to ask you if there's any jerseys hanging in your closet. Anybody's jersey?
My old stuff from when I played.
Yeah. What was your number? Do you remember?
75, yeah, I do. 75 in college. Yeah, 75 in college.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. It has been a real treat to get to know you better and to hear about all the amazing things happening at John Deere in Thibodaux and to talk a little bit about the ag industry, but also to talk about our partnership. And that's one of the things we are hoping to spotlight this year as we, again, celebrate our 75th anniversary, is telling the stories and talking with folks in the community who represent industry or maybe even personally have had a deep connection to the institution. And so know that your work today, even with us, is writing some new history for hopefully the next 75 years of Fletcher.
Well, look, it's been a pleasure being here today, but more importantly, being engaged with the board, with you, some of your staff, and problem solvers and action takers, and just made some better friends on the board. So that's been cool. So just thank you for your leadership, and
thank
I definitely look forward to hopefully leaving a little fingerprint on what this place is going to be in 10 and 20 years. So thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, we are going to post in the show notes the flowers that we're talking about at the beginning. I still didn't come up with it. Did you come up with it? No, me neither. All right. We are going to figure this out, team, and we're going to post it there. And we're both going to kick ourselves when we remember what it is. It's going to be the simplest thing. But for now, I want to thank you all for joining us here on Bridging the Bayou, the podcast of Fletcher Technical Community College. Please be sure to check the show notes for any information that interests you, maybe caught your ear or your eye as we talk today with Mike Duplantis. And in the meantime, be sure to like and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining in. Thank you for listening to Bridging the Bayou, the podcast of Fletcher Technical Community College. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.